both sides. Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the dressing room. I want to caution you right now to keep this fight clean at all times, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck, Minnesota. Touch them up.
This episode of the podcast is being filmed on October 13th, 2018. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Have Fun on the Indys.
The only podcast drunker than Stone Cold's.
Wow. Hey man, why do you always have to tell these people that we're drinking? They're going to think we're alcoholics.
There was those few podcasts where I slur my words. They know.
Anyways, welcome to Have Fun on the Indys. You can catch us on Twitter at HaveFunOTI. There, you'll find all our links to Instagram, Facebook, our YouTube page, our SoundCloud page, Vimeo, Archive, the whole slew of social media that we have all over the internet. You can find us on Twitter. And Jeff, I'm Abe.
And I'm Jeff. We're getting right to it today, folks.
I know, folks. You gotta let us get a little bit in this little rhythm, because right now I am not in the rhythm.
Yeah, we did this a day late.
I think it's thanks to these delicious Keystone Lights.
Hey. The never bitter beer.
Hey, thanks a lot, Jeff. This beer is sure going down smooth.
Discount 12-pack comes with 3 more stones. 15-pack.
All right, well, let's get down to the nitty-gritty of things. Before we start getting down to results of shows and Super Showdown, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, hell, maybe even some New Japan, I was reading on the internet, it was a few years back, WWE got hit with a lawsuit, a concussion lawsuit, where a lot of wrestlers were blaming the WWE for their failures in health once they left the company. You know, WWE is not an easy business. Professional wrestling is not an easy business. And these people felt like they needed to be compensated. I don't know if they're in the right. I don't know if they're in the wrong. I don't really have much of an opinion on that. However, recently the courts sided with WWE. Oh. Right? So WWE is not at fault for all these concussions that these guys say that they suffered from while they wrestled there, which, you know, if you think about it, football players go into football knowing that that's probably part of the game.
Yeah.
MMA fighters and boxers go in there knowing that it's probably part of the game. If you're going into professional wrestling and you're going to start off in the Indies and make your way all the way to the WWE, and hell, even wrestle only in the WWE, you have to expect that it's going to affect your health just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's professional wrestling is not the easiest of activities. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, it's not safe.
You think you're going to go in there and you're going to 100% be healthy when you're done with it? Mm-hmm. That's not realistic.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, the thing that surprised me about this lawsuit was I found a list of a lot of the people that were part of the lawsuit.
Really?
And some of the names are just crazy to me. It's like, for example, here's a name, Tracy Smothers.
Is alive, I'll follow that with.
He's better than you. He made it in ECW. You didn't.
I mean, obviously he made it. Obviously he made it to the WWE. I believe he did at some point.
He was at one point,
right?
Believe it or not. I don't know if he went under the name Tracy Smothers, but I think he did too.
I think he did. I want to say like mid-90s,
somewhere along those lines. But here's more. Here's other names: Chavo Guerrero Jr., Chavo Guerrero Sr.,
okay,
Adam Bomb.
Hey, I heard he was on it. I was like, okay.
Earl Hebner.
Oh my god. I guess. Hey, whatever, dude. Referees take bumps. He took bumps, I guess.
He took a lot of bumps. That's true. Here's another one. One Man Gang. Oh, here's one that's kind of surprising because this person was very reckless in his wrestling style sometimes, which is one of the things that made him fun. So I don't know what he expected with that style. One of those guys' name is Sabu.
Oh, shit. What, those 2 or 3 matches he had on Raw? Like, for what? Come on,
Shut
man.
up. Why do you always talk shit about Sabu? Sabu was one of the guys that was... Him and Rob Van Dam were 2 of the people that were innovative. They're the ones that changed the... They were Ring of Honor before Ring of Honor was a thing and before that style became popular. Why do you always betray Sabu?
Okay, all of that aside, Sabu's not doing it just for money and shit. How many matches... When was Sabu's long stint and shit? Fucking, like...
In case you fucking missed it, he had a small little thing going with John Cena at one point.
Well, yeah, but...
In your face.
By that point, he already had fucking concussion
Ladies
syndrome.
and gentlemen, ignore my partner Jeff and just remember the great Sabu in ECW. His feud with Taz, Born to be Wired. The list goes on and on. Him and Rob Van Dam versus, remember, Hayabusa.
And Jinjay Sensaki.
Exactly.
98.
Please remember Sabu in that way, because when he got to WWE, I hope people know when he got to WWE, he was already done.
He was a broken man.
I guarantee you he did it for the paycheck, and people say, oh, that's sad. He did it for the paycheck. No, it's not fucking sad. He deserved the fucking paycheck. Anyways, the last name that I'm going to bring up, that was fucking weird also. Jeff's favorite wrestler, Axel Rotten.
I thought he was dead.
He is dead. It's Axel Rotten's estate.
Oh shit! I mean, I knew for sure. I was gonna say he is alive. Isn't he dead? Like, yeah, for sure. Okay.
Here's another crazy one. Fucking Mark Jindrak. Remember him?
Yeah, Mark Jindrak.
Henry Godwin, one of those pig farmers.
One of the Godwins.
Rodney Mack,
who I just saw booked on some indie in Ohio
from
recently.
the mean streets.
From the mean streets. Managed by Teddy Long. Or wasn't he Jazz's husband or something?
I don't remember, man, to be honest with you. You know, another one that's kind of weird is Marty Jannetty and John Heidenreich.
Heidenreich. We were just talking about him the other day, weren't we?
Dude, whatever happened to Heidenreich?
I don't know, his whole
he was a very
Nazi gimmick.
He was a very awkward wrestler, huh?
Very.
Like, I don't know how to explain it. He was a very big dude. He was kind of big. Now that I look back at it, he did have those MMA gloves.
Yeah, he did.
It was weird, huh?
Yeah, and he sodomized Michael Cole, so...
Wow, are you fucking kidding me right now?
You don't remember that backstage promo? He had him pinned against the wall, and they insinuated that that's what was happening?
Well, yeah, I suppose.
WWE 2004.
Dude, that was back then when WWE, in like the early 2000s, got away with so much crazy shit. Vince McMahon drugged his wife and was practically boning Trish Stratus live on the air as his wife watched.
Oh my God.
Edge was having sex live on Raw. I wonder how much of that stuff would fly by now.
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier.
Because remember,
not much.
It was even worse in the Attitude Era. Remember, there was a point where all these gangs were fighting each other, and it was all very race-baited.
Literally.
It was like the black people versus the white people versus the Latin people. And at one point, I swear, I could be remembering this wrong, but I swear to God, Farouk went into his locker room, the Nation of Domination locker room, and the N-word was spray painted on the fucking wall, except it was blurred. You can see the N and the R. You can see the N and the R, but you can't see the whole middle. It was like blurred.
I think I do remember that. I bet that's not on the network.
Dude, how crazy is that? Can you imagine if they did those kind of things today?
I sit here and say if we showed somebody some of the things they did back then, they still might get in trouble for it today.
I wonder what the worst thing that WWE has done in terms of an angle that was shocking or in bad taste the last 5 years was.
Oh, that's a good one.
Hey, if any of our fans know of any like fucked up angles that they've done in the last 5 years that can compete with the fucked upness that was the Attitude Era and the early 2000s, tweet us. Tweet us at HaveFunOTI or hit us up on Instagram or Facebook or whatever.
Yeah, send us a link to the video or something.
Because I get the strong feeling that we're over here talking shit, but the WWE can get crazy.
Something worse might have happened in the last 5 years. I agree with you.
Worse, but it's like, what's worse than Vince yelling at Zach Gowing because he has a leg and is handicapped? I need athletes in here, not some freaks.
Oh my God.
Anyways, let's get back on track here. I wanted to go over some of the WWE shows that happened recently because besides Raw and SmackDown last weekend, there was a pretty big show, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And that big show was called WWE Super Showdown.
Super Showdown in Australia.
It was talked about for months. It was built up for months. And in my opinion, from what I saw, it delivered, dude. That motherfucker looked like WrestleMania.
Yeah.
WWE Super Showdown looked like WWE WrestleMania.
Yeah.
There was over 70,000 people there. Over 70,000 people in a giant fucking stadium. And it had that feel of a big time show. It had a bigger feel than, say, this Crown Jewel's having so far. Even though they are pushing it because it's in Saudi Arabia, which we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
It feels sure as hell feels a lot bigger than that WWE Women's pay-per-view that they hyped up for so much. That has now falling on deaf's ears.
Yeah, seeming a little desperate.
But yeah, it started off with them panning to the crowd, 70,000 people in attendance, fireworks go off, and they started off in one of the best ways they could have started it off. One of the best angles, in my opinion, in a super long time in the WWE Women's Division. Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch. I love that angle. I love the way both wrestlers talk on the mic. I love the way both women wrestle. And on this Super Showdown, Jeff, these women went fucking nuts.
Yeah, I've only seen the highlights so far of Super Showdown. I haven't watched the whole show.
Dude, there was a spot in the match, which, by the way, this was women strong style. 100% this was women strong style. There was a point in the match where Charlotte Flair, like, she's kind of halfway through the bottom rope, like she's stomach first on the bottom rope, correct? Uh-huh. Becky Lynch grabs her arm and yanks her down, so that way she can go to the outside of the ring, like drag her down outside of the ring. Uh-huh. Except that Charlotte Flair comes half a second from landing square on her neck. That spot looked fucking nuts. They played it off that she hurt her shoulder, so the shoulder was being worked on. There was another spot where Becky Lynch does a bunch of suplexes on the outside, right? Which always look fucking cool. Uh-huh. She does a suplex on the outside at one point. Charlotte Flair makes her way to the guardrail and just gets her fucking face kneed off.
Really?
Yeah, huge knee on the railing. It looked fucking badass. This match delivered so fucking good.
Yeah, I'm going to go back and watch that.
And they're incredibly talented. These two ladies are incredibly fucking talented. Charlotte Flair goes over via disqualification because Becky Lynch doesn't stop the fucking insanity.
Wow.
Of doing things on the outside and breaking the rules, and the referee's counting down and can't keep control.
Wow.
It was a badass match, Jeff.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
They're the only thing making me want to watch the Women's Evolution pay-per-view. Sorry.
The next thing that got the crowd popping a little bit was an Elias and Kevin Owens concert. They did their thing. I always think it's hilarious. This time, Lashley comes out with him, a guy who hasn't been in the WWE for a while, John Cena.
John Cena's there, still looks in tremendous shape. Looks less bulky, but more slim. But he still looks in tremendous shape. John Cena comes out, and man, it seems like anywhere John Cena goes around the world, whether it be the United States, whether it be Japan, whether it be Australia, fucking Germany, no, it doesn't matter where he goes, he's so fucking over. Yeah.
John Cena is over. John Cena truly is the modern Hulk Hogan. Even though he's at the end of his, John Cena's obviously coming at the end of his career. He's a part-time worker there now, it seems like.
Yeah.
He's there more than The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar and guys like that, but he wrestles a lot less than he used to. Well, John Cena comes out, he's over as fuck. Half the crowd likes him, half the crowd doesn't like him. He has everybody in the palm of his hands. Cena wins the match for his team. And here's the thing that got me a little weirded out. So John Cena, for the last couple months, actually, has been teasing a new finisher. Have you seen it?
No, actually. I didn't even know.
He has a new finisher.
I didn't even know he's teasing
Go
a new
to YouTube
finisher.
right now while I'm going to talk about this and discuss. Try to make it quick.
I will try with my messed up keyboard.
Yeah, hey, that's another thing. Can we please get a keyboard that works?
We have that. I have that other one. I just keep. It's batteries for the mic or batteries for the keyboard.
Wow, because I was freaking looking up YouTube things with your keyboard about Asuka, and every time I hit the space button, it never stopped putting spaces in between fucking words.
Yep,
it's completely fuck. What'd you drop on that thing?
I believe it was a fruit cup.
Wow.
And that was months ago, and I have done my best to clean it. Sometimes some of the other buttons work, some of them don't. Spacebar just doesn't work properly.
Anyways, it was super annoying. But right there, look, John Cena new finisher. I want you to check this out. John Cena new finisher, the Lightning Fist. It's a lightning fist.
Lightning fist.
And that's how I won this match. And
lightning fist.
It's supposed to be kind of like a press pause it. It's supposed to be a homage to a movie he's making, because he's making a movie where apparently there's someone there teaching how to fight for that specific movie, because there's certain fight scenes that you're supposed to fight a certain way in that movie scene. And this is his finisher now. Hit play.
Okay. I am already disappointed.
First, he levels up. That's his finisher right there. He levels up like he's in Dragon Ball Z, and then he hits you with like a side fist. That's it.
A side fist from the opposite side on the hard camera.
And the announcers go bonkers, by the way. The announcers just fucking push that shit to heaven and beyond. You know what I mean? Yeah, the announcers really get into it.
Okay, I'm gonna say that the camera angle is really, really fucking bad, but oh yeah. That goes in the WWE Top 100 OMG moments of all time, I'm sure.
Well, after the match, after he wins the match for his team, something that was kind of cool, and that's one thing I like about John Cena, and I hate the fact that when John Cena was at his prime, selling out all these arenas, at WrestleMania, at SummerSlam, beating everybody, facing everybody, I hate the fact that I was never truly behind him. And for some reason, I appreciate him more now than I did back then. And I kind of hate that, but it's okay. He did a promo at the end of this match where he talked about how, you know, he's not a full-timer anymore and he still loves professional wrestling. And it felt like a promo that was very heartfelt.
Genuine.
Very heartfelt and genuine. And believe it or not, yes, John Cena is the poster boy for WWE. Yes, John Cena is pretty much the Hulk Hogan of today. He doesn't wrestle a style that everybody seems to like now. But John Cena always seemed genuine to me. John Cena seemed like a guy that legit, deep down in his heart, from all the interviews he's done in the ring to the interviews he's done outside the ring when he's not kayfabing, he seems like a genuine guy that really wanted WWE to succeed.
Yeah.
I feel like he wanted wrestling to succeed, and just like Kenny Omega has a lot of passion for professional wrestling, and Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks have a lot of passion for professional wrestling, I feel John Cena has the exact same thing. It's just a different style.
Yeah. No, he definitely does. And he's fought everybody's indie darlings and heroes in the past and had great matches with them. I've said it before. John Cena is a really good wrestler.
Yeah, he's improved a lot in his wrestling, and the overall package, you know, now that I look back at things, WWE was completely right in making them their poster boy, in making them the guy that was going to put WWE on his shoulders and for fucking more than a decade carry it
on his back. Yep.
He did it right, dude. And even when people are hating him, it almost worked out. The fact that people hated his wrestling style almost worked out for him because the arenas would go insane.
It was either him or Randy.
I remember he had a feud there with CM Punk for a while. It was like a dream. It was pretty much John Cena versus the internet.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So moving down the card, the next match, which people said should have been the main event, and people keep wondering why this champion isn't main eventing more. Mm-hmm. AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe for the WWE Championship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people say that this match should have been the main event. People are saying, why is AJ Styles not main eventing? Why do they keep putting the WWE Championship mid-card?
Definitely.
I can't answer that. Bully Ray had a theory. He said something along the lines of, he thinks any match AJ Styles is in is obviously going to be the show stealer. So sometimes, which WWE loves, they don't care that he has that kind of work rate. They like it. However, there's times where WWE wants to get the main event. The fucking cats, Jeff. Once again, we need a better studio.
Just a little bit.
However, where was I? Because I'm completely confused after that cat debacle.
We had a live cat fight.
Wow, so where was I?
Studio cats.
AJ Styles.
AJ
Styles being put mid-card even though he's a champion. Bully Ray had a theory about it, and he said, look, it's not that WWE doesn't like his work rate. It's not that WWE doesn't like AJ Styles. They love the guy. There's a reason why he's champion, and there's a reason why he's in the cover of their video game, etc., etc. However, Bully Ray thinks that sometimes, because of his experiences, he says he felt the same way when he was doing those tag team matches with Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys. Remember those TLCs? He felt those should have been main events a lot of times.
Yeah.
But the reason why they put him mid-card, Bully Ray said, is because sometimes the WWE wants the main event to get over for whatever reason, whether it be get over wrestling-wise or get over an angle. And if you put a match that's going to be that high quality right before the main event, that's going to be take you on that much of an emotional roller coaster. Right before the main event, the fans are going to be way too drained, and the main event's not going to do its purpose, which is leave a cliffhanger so fans can buy more tickets. They're saying his matches are too good that will take away from the main event, and sometimes they have different plans for the main event.
I agree. AJ anywhere near the main event would blow the last few pay-per-view main events out of the water. Straight up.
Yeah, his matches are always the best. He's like almost like the new Shawn Michaels, you know what I mean? You got in the Indies and in Japan, overseas, you have Kenny Omega stealing the show every time he wrestles. And here in the United States, I don't give a fuck. You go look down all the way down the Indies in the United States. AJ Styles is doing it for the big leagues. He's the show stealer of every SmackDown he's on, every pay-per-view he's on. His matches are always the best. And I understand, they don't want sometimes things to be taken away from the main event. But, fuck, when are we going to acknowledge that wrestling's still part of the gig?
Can't they, alternate it? Okay, so Roman and Braun were the main event of this one. AJ can be the main event of the next one.
Yeah, I don't know, man. But there's
a lot of up a little bit.
There's a lot of people that don't like that, and I understand why WWE does it, but I also understand why people are pissed off about it.
I think they could switch it up a little bit. Let the Universal title be the mid-card one pay-per-view, but I'm asking for too much.
You're being weird.
I know I am. Because the Universal title is the flagship title now. They're building it up to be that. It's the champion of the universe. It's red. It's ugly. I hate it.
Wow.
But, the WWE title still means it's still the WWE championship, And I think they could alternate it. That would be suitable. Let him be the main event of the pay-per-view this month.
I respect your opinion. So, moving on to the match, which was Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles, Super Showdown. Hard-hitting match. Fucking hard-hitting match. Am I watching Ring of Honor, is what I want to say.
Right.
It was fucking awesome. AJ Styles' punches were super stiff, man. They were hard-hitting punches in that match. AJ Styles was bleeding from the mouth. Who knows from what? Probably one of Samoa Joe's open-handed strikes or forearms or who knows, maybe a face wash in the corner. AJ Styles is bleeding from the mouth. As soon as you think the match is about to be over, because they've had a good amount of time to work, the match just fucking picks up bad. Samoa Joe goes through a table.
Wow.
Hurts his leg in the process. AJ Styles keeps working on the leg. AJ wins by calf crusher. So he worked on the leg, then he won by calf crusher. It should have been a main event.
Yeah.
With the way the match took these people on this ride of just who's going to win, what's happening, you know what I mean? It was a badass match. People were invested in it, in the crowd. The crowd was loud the whole time. The match was smooth. It probably should have been the main event.
It should have been.
In my opinion, it did steal the show.
For without a shadow of a doubt, the WWE Championship should always be in the main event.
Next match, Ronda was in a match in a sixth man with the Bellas versus, I can't remember who she wrestled, I'm not going to lie. But I know that the one thing that stuck out in my mind was she won the match with a double armbar. So
the Riot Squad.
Yeah, there you go, the Riot Squad. So she won a match with the double armbar, which is actually kind of cool. A double armbar. I hadn't seen that. I enjoyed it. Hopefully, eventually, Ronda learns the ropes, which is what it seems like they're teaching her now. So she can start being in these bigger feuds, with more importance. Next up, I'm kind of getting sick of this angle, but the matches aren't horrible. The Shield and Braun Strowman versus Ziggler and Drew McIntyre.
All right.
Ambrose gets the victory for the Shield. There wasn't much to that match, man.
Yeah.
It was just a match. It was a good match. There was a lot of talent in that match. Braun Strowman, probably the best big man in the WWE right now. Braun Strowman, probably the best big man in all of professional wrestling right now.
Actually.
Who else is that size that is that good?
Braun's going to give these hands.
And, we're not the biggest, we're guilty of sometimes talking shit about Braun Strowman.
Yeah, I am.
But besides Brock Lesnar, he's probably the best big man in the business. Does New Japan have any big guys? Honestly, though. I'm not even trying to clown.
No?
They don't have any giants, huh?
I don't really think so. There was that one young lion guy that was really, really huge, real buff. They sent him away on excursion. I don't even frickin' know his name.
I don't even know what excursion is or anything of what you're saying.
He was the guy that won the Lions thing last year, and I don't even know where he's at on Excursion either. But that's probably the biggest guy I'd seen.
Well, next match they had was a pretty good match. The Miz versus Daniel Bryan.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good match. Daniel Bryan wins with a small package. AJ Styles was watching on. It's going to be a fucking badass match for me. Take my money. I'm watching Crown Jewel now. AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan at Crown Jewel.
Yeah.
Fuck, that is not going to disappoint.
AJ's been on a roll. He went from Nakamura to Joe to Daniel Bryan.
Fuck,
now. Like,
I didn't even think about it.
Who's left?
He's going through all the actual workhorses of the company.
I know who's left.
Who?
Randy. And that'll be the end of his reign.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Please, WWE.
Did I just book WrestleMania?
Please, WWE. With Randy Orton having this whole persona change and him being ultra violent and him being
Ultra
violent and him being
CZW?
insane. Shut up, will ya? Randy Orton and CZW? I don't think so.
Not in a million years.
Randy Orton and GCW.
Yeah, GC Dub.
Randy Orton and fucking what's his name from GCW? Remember?
PCO?
No, Randy Orton versus
Shellac. Yeah. All right.
Damn.
Randy Orton versus Shellac in IWA Mid South.
That would be whoa. Anyways, with the way Randy Orton's whole persona change has happened, with the way Randy Orton's been getting pushed as being more violent, what better guy to go up against than AJ Styles? Those would probably be some of the best matches WWE can put on.
All roads.
Not only the matches, the fucking angles. Can you imagine the angles they're going to be able to do? Because AJ Styles is good on the mic. He knows how to act when he's in an angle. But we all know Randy Orton has extensive experience in that.
Yeah.
Which means, dude, them gelling together can only be fucking money. Can only be butts and seats, in my opinion.
I just booked WrestleMania.
Oh my God. And then
I just booked WrestleMania and I'm so sad.
And then imagine Randy Orton winning it.
Well, of course Randy's going to win it.
You don't know that.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Randy Orton wins a lot.
I think Randy's not going to win. What happened with Randy and Bray Wyatt a couple years ago?
I know.
Randy won.
Even though Bray Wyatt was at the top of being hyped. He was like the most hyped guy. And he was proving that he can hold main event spots. And he was proving that he can pull off these angles that sometimes might have been a little wacky. But he was still proving he can do it all. He was a sick-ass character. And then Randy comes and says, it's my house.
Yeah, I need that back now.
Randy's like, I'm sorry. You're not on my level. I win.
Like, I spent the last 6 months on the mid-card. Hey, it's time to win the title.
Here's something that'll probably never happen, but you know what my truly dream angle would be? Randy Orton versus Kenny Omega.
That's not too far-fetched and out there.
We'll see. Kenny Omega doesn't seem to be wanting to go to the WWE because of the limitations that WWE puts on some of the creative stuff, which I understand. I mean, Kenny Omega is got popular by doing things his way and by wrestling his style. However, hey man, I wonder if Kenny Omega will be remembered if he never tries out for the E.
I want Randy versus Okada.
Believe it or not, I'm not the biggest Okada fan. I love Okada. Him and Shibata put on one of the best matches I've seen in years, probably a decade. But I don't know, something about Okada doesn't seem strong style enough to me. Besides that one match. Or am I completely mistaken?
Well, I mean,
damn, am I just being a dick? Look at what he did with Omega.
You're just like, oh, it's New Japan. It sucks.
No, I don't think everything in New Japan sucks. As much as you guys think that. Well, moving on to the main of All In.
All In. Super Showdown.
Super Showdown. Obviously not All In. I
forgot what we were talking about.
Obviously not All In because All In didn't draw 70,000 people. Moving on.
It only sold out 10.
Yeah, only sold out 10,
11, I think,
which is what WWE does at house shows.
Did we cover? No, because that was way weeks after All In. All In was a good show. Moving back on.
We didn't cover All In, which is a goddamn shame because that show, to sum it up real quick before we get to the true main event, that show All In was inspirational.
Yeah.
It was full of passion, full of heart. It was just put together by a great minds of this wrestling business here in the modern era, and it was put together by guys that love wrestling, which is something we haven't seen in a very long time.
Yeah,
and it was a show for the boys.
Yeah, it was definitely a great show.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Probably one of the best shows in a very long time.
Outside of WWE?
Yeah, outside of WWE, it probably trumps a lot of the shows we've watched throughout the years. But Main event time. Super Showdown. Triple H versus The Undertaker. Kane is in Undertaker's corner, and Shawn Michaels is in Triple H's corner.
For the last time ever.
The match was WWE style, which I enjoyed a lot. You have Triple H and Undertaker. They can't put on a shitty match, especially with Triple H in there. Triple H's style has always been one of my favorite styles. He's one of the best wrestlers ever in the history of the WWE, in my opinion. I noticed at one point, Undertaker was swinging the chair fucking hard. I'm talking fucking hard, dude.
Harder than Gato?
Yeah, they were going balls out in this match. There was a lot of interference at one point. Triple H wins after HBK super kicks The Undertaker. And then The Undertaker turns around, gets pedigreed. All four guys, at the end, make amends. They hug it out. They raise their hands.
Yeah.
They raise their hands. Fireworks are going off everywhere. It's fucking awesome. It reminds you of the old school WWE guys that can still fucking go. The
ones that are still there?
Yes. Until Undertaker and Kane beat the shit out of him.
Simply put.
It was actually kind of cool the way it happened. The Brothers of Destruction always give me a fucking raging boner. I like those guys. Those guys are fucking awesome. And even though The Undertaker has very limited ring time now and should probably not be doing these crazy matches all the time, it was an awesome ending. I bought the whole Kane Undertaker being badass at the end. Them walking out together, Brothers of Destruction. Perfect way to end the show. 100% a success. Super Showdown was 100% a fucking success.
Yeah, sounds like a good show. I still have not watched the whole thing. I just caught some highlights. I will be having to watch that later.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch that later. It was a fucking badass show. Also, what do you think the tickets would be to go to like a Super Showdown? I didn't look that up, but it makes me wonder.
Yeah, really.
And you know why I started thinking about tickets, man? Because I was thinking, we've been going to New Japan. We've been to some Ring of Honors. We went to one of the best shows we've ever been to called XPW. And guess who's making their way to California? More specifically, San Jose.
Oh, who?
The WWE. And it's not just a normal show. This is the reason why I was looking up tickets. It's not just a normal show.
Pay-per-view?
It's table, ladders, and chairs.
Oh!
Wow! So here's two things. One, it's a WWE pay-per-view, which that in itself, I guess, could try to get me to buy tickets, correct? But...
Interesting.
But... At the same time, not all WWE pay-per-views are top-notch quality.
Yeah.
However, this is TLC. I'm not saying it's going to be top-notch quality, but there's going to be people smashing through shit, and there's going to be people jumping off of high fucking places.
Yeah, definitely. Like, that's a good gimmick pay-per-view right there. I am interested. So it's in San Jose, you say, December?
I think it's sometime in December.
It usually is.
I was looking it up. I got an email about it because I'm signed up to Ticketmaster from when I used to go to all these WWE events before, and also I get notices about MMA and boxing matches coming up. So I got an email about Super Showdown, which, by the way, I think I still have.
For TLC?
For TLC, I still think I have that email. Let me look it up. Let me look it up real quick. How much do you think I don't know.
How much do you think the tickets go for? I know I was going to go to an Elimination Chamber probably about 8 years ago now.
Oh, man, that would have been awesome to go to an Elimination Chamber.
It was in San Jose, and the guy I was going with looked up tickets, and he was like, oh, no, they're too expensive. I don't want to go. So I didn't go, but I wanted to go because that would have been sick.
I wonder if like Elimination Chambers and Table, Ladders, and Chairs and gimmick pay-per-views are a little bit more than normal pay-per-views.
Yeah, I wonder that. Especially Elimination Chamber.
Dude, in Tables, Ladders, and Chairs, I'm a big fan of hardcore wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
It's not my favorite style of wrestling, but I fucking love that shit. The fans know we love that shit. Every time summer comes along, we have our fucking deathmatch summers.
Deathmatch season.
Which, speaking of which, CZW has their Cage of Death coming up.
Oh.
We are definitely throwing a little party for that one.
Yeah, we are.
Cage of Death, I'm not missing it. I should be here. I don't know when it is, really.
Yeah,
anyways,
we'll have to look that up, too.
So, if you want the super, super cheap seats for WWE Tables, Ladders, and Chairs...
The nosebleeds?
Pretty much the nosebleeds. They're not too bad. $25 each.
That's not bad for a pay-per-view.
Then, as it's moving down the rows, it gets to $35.
That's not bad.
You know what I mean? And then you get to
the middle section, right? So it's not front row seats. It's not front row seats. It's the middle section.
It's the middle.
So you'll get a good view, maybe.
Maybe
you might hear,
maybe
you
off
might
the
not.
ground or
because
on
a
the
lot of
floor.
times the middle view is the best view to go watch a WWE event.
It's
but
as close as possible. A little off the
so
ground.
it ranges from nosebleeds from $25 to $35 to holy fuck.
What the?
Wow. So for a middle seat, it's $275.
That is a big jump. It goes from 55 to 275.
Dude, that's fucking nuts.
Is that just what's?
That's pretty nutty. I mean, is it though?
Wow.
Is it though, or are we just fucking broke?
I mean, it's not that we're broke. I like to sit a little off the floor because we get to see the impact of the mat. You know, when the shows we've been on the floor at, it looks like everybody's just getting sunk into the ring. So,
okay, but think about it. We're getting 3 hours of WWE pay-per-view. Of WWE. Okay, there you go. 3 to 4 hours of WWE pay-per-view, and
Dark
that's
match.
not. And that's not exactly.
Extra
That's
fluff.
not counting the dark matches. That's not counting the
pre-show match.
pre-show things they do. You get a whole smorgasbord of fucking professional wrestling on that night.
Yeah, and it's TLC.
And it's a pay-per-view, exactly, and it's TLC.
Uh-huh.
Are those prices worth it? Because you want to know how much starting floor seats are? Starting floor seats, which means not the best ones.
Uh-huh.
$350 is what they start off at.
Oh.
And those are just the starting floor seats.
That's not front row or
and here's
even
the thing,
fifth row.
I can't even find front row seats. But here's the next best thing to front row seats. They start off at $750.
Floor 2, row 3, $750. Each. Wow.
Well, I guess these days it's kind of expensive to go to a WWE event.
I guess let's just not pay our bills that month and go.
Fuck
right?
it. You know what? Fuck rent.
I'm not taking my girlfriend. That's too expensive.
Fuck rent. The landlord will understand.
Uh-huh.
It's tables, ladders, and chairs.
I'll just be like, hey, man, I had to spend my money on this ticket to TLC. Like, oh, hey, let me have that ticket then. I'll go. We'll count that as rent. Nah, man, this is mine. Well, you're going to get evicted.
And fuck food. Fuck food. I think I have a giant bag of sunflower seeds somewhere at my house.
Yeah,
you know
right?
what I mean? Like, I'll do that.
I got a cabinet full of top ramen that's just waiting.
Dude,
$750.
See, things like this, you have to look at the WWE schedule. If you're guys like us, where we have jobs, we work a lot, but we also have a lot of bills that we have to pay.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have college degree jobs, that's for sure.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money for a fucking WWE event. If you're in our position, you probably have to see what we probably would have had to do to get front row seats if we really wanted to spend $700 on this shit was look at the schedule months ahead, months in advance, and planned accordingly, I suppose.
Yeah.
Even though prices wouldn't have been out by then, you could have figured it would have been around this just by looking up the history of other ticket sales and shit.
Well, now we definitely know, and I'll have to start prostituting myself like 6 months before we go front row at WWE.
And these are one of the ones I want to go because I don't want to go to like Backlash.
Yeah, a gimmick one I think would be much better to go to.
I don't even want to go to like what's that one they have in the summer sometimes that they used to have? That it was Invasion at one point, but it wasn't Invasion.
Oh, crap. What
I
did
can't remember the
Invasion
name of it.
become?
It was like King of the Ring. King of the Ring was no longer, and then it became something like... I can't remember what it was.
Oh, I can't remember either.
However,
Damn.
I'd like to go to a gimmick one, right? Because they're always fun. Not just a normal pay-per-view, because a normal pay-per-view, sometimes it feels just like a long SmackDown or Raw.
Just a long episode of SmackDown or Raw.
But, speaking of SmackDown or Raw, we're moving straight to Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night Raw.
Which is supposed to be the biggest show in professional wrestling. The show starts off the way Super Showdown ended. HBK and Triple H cut a promo. They discussed the Undertaker Kane debacle that happened at Super Showdown. They bring up the fact that, hey, Sean, you haven't seen any action lately in the WWE ring. You've been retired for a number of years.
10 years, I believe?
Around there, really.
Is it? Yeah.
And guess what's coming up? Crown Jewel, which is a big deal right now for the WWE. They're making their way to Saudi Arabia, and from what I hear, it's a fucking... They have a very good contract over there. They're making a lot of money. The Saudi Arabian prince is paying them a lot of money to go do these things. Because he's doing this whole thing where he's trying to make Saudi Arabia more modern. He's trying to make Saudi Arabia up with the times. So from now till 2030, he's bringing all these things that aren't usually there. He's bringing them there. WWE being one of them, they're getting paid fucking fat.
That explains the risk.
That explains the risk, exactly, because as we all know, recently there was a journalist from Saudi Arabia who visited the Saudi consulate. Look, for whatever reason, I think he was like looking for papers to fill out papers so that he can get remarried or something like that. Well, he never came out of that place.
Oh, yeah.
And then people started looking into the history. They were like, wait a minute, this guy just straight up disappeared. What the fuck is going on? You look into his history, and it ends up being that he's a journalist. And he was being critical. Sometimes he's written critical articles about the government there. So he went there with his girlfriend to fill out these papers and never came out. And they still can't find him, and they still don't know where he's at. And someone says that there's footage out there of him being tortured and killed.
Oh, shit.
But they don't know for sure. So a lot of the senators in the United States started writing to WWE. Seeing as how Linda is part of the Trump cabinet, they started writing to WWE saying, hey, because of this going on, and everybody pretty much thinking that the Saudi Arabia government shut this journalist up by murdering him, they're saying WWE shouldn't give them the pleasure of that kind of entertainment. Like, why are you going over there and entertaining them and doing what they want when they're involved in this fucking scandal of trying to shut people's opinions up? WWE had an answer for that. You want to know what genius WWE answer had to that?
I think I saw what their answer was. Tell the folks.
The answer was, and it's fucking badass, and it's fucking gangster, and it's something Vince would say, hey, we're looking into it.
Yeah, we're monitoring the situation.
We're monitoring the situation, period. And that's it. And now, from what I was reading early this morning, it seems like it's a go. Crown Jewel is a go. They will be going 100%. So, they're making a big deal out of it. HBK says, it is a big deal. At Crown Jewel, I'll be stepping back into the ring.
Oh, no.
So it's probably going to be a tag team match. Undertaker and Kane versus Triple H and Shawn Michaels at Crown Jewel. Pretty awesome. I like it. I don't mind it.
DX is
the only
back.
thing... See, that's what I minded. That's what I minded. The whole promo was awesome. The whole... Seeing these two veterans in the ring talking about professional wrestling was awesome. Up until they started bringing up DX again. Why do they have to always bring up DX? DX was Shawn Michaels and Triple H and Road Dogg and Badass and X-Pac. And that's what DX was. DX is not just Triple H and Shawn Michaels. As much as they try to do it, they make it seem like that's the only people that matter in DX.
Yeah, they do.
And I don't like it, dude. I don't like it. Like, for some reason... I love DX. I loved Shawn Michaels and Triple H when they're in DX. But I don't like them as DX as just them,
just
the tag
the tag team. Yeah.
They're too wacky, and it feels weird seeing them try to do high school shit when they're that old.
Yeah.
Because people say... I told that to somebody. I said, I don't want to watch old-ass Shawn Michaels and Triple H do D-Generation X shit, which was toilet humor and high school humor, even though I find it hilarious. But at this age, I don't think it's that funny anymore because they're too old. It makes it look weird.
What is he rebelling against?
Someone responded with, well, what about the NWO? The NWO had some of their old guys still acting like they're fucking young street thugs. But my thing is, the NWO was more of a gang than DX was.
Yeah, you're
DX
right.
was the epitome of a stable. A professional wrestling stable. NWO felt more like a gang. And there's always OGs and gangs. You know, in real life, in whatever. There's always older folks that are still part of gangs. And that's what I think makes a difference. I feel like the NWO was more serious than DX. And I don't know, Triple H and Shawn Michaels acting like DX is weird to me sometimes. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes I'm like cringed out by it. But anyways, all in all, it's going to be a badass match at Crown Jewel.
I mean, yeah.
These guys all know how to work. Need we say more? Next up was Lashley versus Owens. Off of that match, fucking Kevin Owens is nimble as fuck. He took a crazy-ass front flip over the top rope. Looked awesome. The part that kind of ruined the match, in my opinion, Leo Rush came out and was on the mic throughout the match trying to hype up Lashley, saying things along the lines of, Lashley, and then saying things like, come on, you guys are going to cheer for my big man, you're going to cheer for the other big man, and it was all very corny.
Yeah, very.
And just to put things to rest, I read on a rumor website called Cage Side Seats, which I like cageSideSeats.com. It's a good website for news, but dude, they are hella clickbait.
CageSideSeats.com is hella clickbait.
Is the rumor mill.
I'm going to keep sticking with Wrestling Inc. and my number one source, PW Insider.
Yep.
Those two are the best. Cage Side Seats, I'll visit once in a while just to see what the fuck is like something to shock me, even though everything is rumors. But under the rumor section, by the way, folks, rumor section, they were saying that Lio Rush was being fed his lines by Vince McMahon, which I don't believe. I know Vince takes control of a lot of guys that way, and when they do have earpieces, especially at the announce table, he tells them what to say and what to do. But I don't think he was doing that with Lio Rush.
The corny shit he was saying, I could see Vince McMahon saying it, though.
I suppose, but dude, it was so corny. It was cringy. It made me embarrassed.
Sounded like a 73-year-old man was saying it.
Yeah, it was weird.
I think maybe.
I know, right? Is Lio Rush like 50?
I can't remember. Yeah, did he call him jive turkeys too? I'm not sure. Like
I don't know, man. But after that, Lashley goes over with his finish. The crowd was incredibly into it, though. They enjoyed the wrestling aspect of it. Post-fight, Lashley drags Kevin Owens by where the turnbuckle is, straddling him, not straddling him, the post.
To the post, yeah.
To the post, so it looks like he's going to do a Bret Hart figure four on the post, right? But he doesn't. Instead, he starts grabbing Kevin Owens' legs and slamming him against the post. And not just one slam with one leg, both legs. Literally starts going bam, bam, bam.
Like back and forth.
Back and forth with each leg, slamming it on the post. It was It was pretty violent. I liked it. It was pretty cool. Maybe probably Lashley looked insane.
Yeah.
It was a good way to end that whole segment.
I like those two feuding. That's good shit right there.
Next up, we have Ronda Rousey in a 6-man with the Bellas versus, I think, the same people that she wrestled at Super Showdown.
It's the exact same match.
The Riot Squad. So that's a little weird that they had that on again. Mm-hmm. It seemed very bland up until the end.
It's not the first time this happens.
Up until the end. The end, it got a little interesting. Ronda Rousey and the Bellas go over, and then the Bellas attack Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
So my thing is, while that doesn't seem very interesting match-wise, I don't think these women are going to be putting on the best matches from the women's division.
Probably not.
However, I can see the build-up to these matches being fucking insane. Because when Ronda Rousey first got to WWE, in real life, there was a lot of backstage animosity towards her from the women. Yeah. Because she was coming in, automatically getting a push, automatically being in the ring with guys like Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, and having these giant feuds, and probably getting paid a lot more than all these women that have been there forever and that are there week in and week out.
Yeah, remember how much Sasha gets
So
paid?
You know what they're going to do? I guarantee you the Bellas grab the mic and bring all that stuff up. And I guarantee you they start doing shoots on her. About how she just came in here, didn't pay her dues, what the hell gives her the right, blah, 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 blah. Because the Bellas are kind of popular. Yeah. Whether you like the Bellas or not, they're kind of popular. For God's sake, they have their own TV show. Yeah. Pretty much. And they've had it for a while now.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't know who's watching. I wonder what their demographic is. Is it young women? Is it like young women? Is it, like LGBT people? Like, what's their base? Because I don't see the women that I know that watch reality television. They didn't really dig that show. They stuck with their other reality TV, like the Kardashians and shit like that. So I don't know. I wonder what the demographic is. All I know is
that's a good question.
What can save this angle? What can make this angle great? Is please start shooting. Start shooting with the things you say about Ronda Rousey coming into the WWE and getting an opportunity that a lot of them haven't, and let Ronda Rousey do her thing also.
That could make it interesting, but seeing the Bellas as heels again, I'm not too excited for.
I understand. So moving down the card, fuck man. Next up, a giant long fucking segment with Baron Corbin.
You know how much we love Baron Corbin, folks.
Baron Corbin,
especially the last 3 weeks.
Baron Corbin wants to be part of the WWE Crown Jewel World Cup, so he needs a qualifying match for that. He puts himself in something he calls the Global Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Which is Baron Corbin in a battle royal with a bunch of these quote-unquote international superstars from a guy named The Waffle, I think.
The Belgian Waffle. The Belgian fucking Waffle.
So from one guy called the Belgian Waffle, which, let's face it, the Belgian Waffle made it farther than you ever did.
In professional wrestling.
Yes, he did. He's currently had a tryout, basically, for the WWE.
Well,
I've got to give the Belgian waffle that. I'm more of a pancake man myself, but...
Well, anyways, add a cast of characters from the Belgian waffle to, believe it or not, a fan favorite, a conquistador.
The conquistador.
You remember the conquistadors from back in the day? For some reason, that was hella over. So Baron Corbin's in there. Obviously, he pretty much throws everybody out. Is succeeding in this whole battle royal.
Squashes everyone.
Throws what seems to be the last person outside of the ring, but he forgets that the conquistador has been napping on the outside for a while. He decided to go outside and take a nap. Conquistador comes back in the ring. Baron Corbin's like, fuck, I gotta get rid of this guy, but hey, easy peasy, it's a fucking conquistador. Conquistador all of a sudden starts wrestling in a very Olympic way.
Yes!
It ends up being Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle's the one underneath the mask. Kurt Angle throws Baron Corbin over the top rope. Kurt Angle goes on to WWE World Cup in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
I'm not mad at that at all.
Not at all. And Baron Corbin got fucked up. I'm happy.
Got hella fucked up. Next one, Trish Stratus has a little segment with Alexa Bliss.
Trish is back.
And Mickie James. Alexa Bliss comes out with Mickie James. Trish Stratus is in the ring talking. She gets interrupted. Lita ends up coming out.
And Lita's
Trish
back.
brings up Lita after she's, Lita saves Trish pretty much from a beating.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much it on that. It seems like Trish and Lita are not calling themselves besties best for business. That's kind of like their little...
Besties best for business.
That's their little name now.
Is that 3B?
I don't know, man.
Besties best for business.
I'm all for Trish and Lita. I love those girls. Yeah. I remember watching them for a very long time. I hope they do great.
Yeah, I'm glad they're back. That'll be nostalgic for the pay-per-view.
Next up was what is something that seemed boring as fuck. They had Bobby Roode and Gable versus the Ascension.
Again.
It just felt like filler. Up until the end, which they did it again this week, the same way they did it last week. AOP comes out, fucking destroys Legion of Doom style. I'm hella into those guys. They're probably my favorite tag team right now. If tag teams are... I know tag teams probably aren't even getting paid attention. We don't pay attention to them as much either. But if I had to pick a tag team, they're probably my favorite tag team right now.
They're going to liven up the Raw tag team scene, which is kind of lacking.
We're nearing the end of the show. Paul Heyman comes out, says Lesnar will be back for Crown Jewel. I'm always a big fan of Brock Lesnar.
Of course,
he cuts a good promo. It's Paul Heyman. He knows how to talk.
Yeah, he does.
I'm excited for Lesnar to be back. I know right now he's in mid-contract negotiations with the UFC to fight Daniel Cormier for the heavyweight belt. Hopefully that happens, but it's kind of weird seeing him in all these WWE shows. They're saying he's back only for this Crown Jewel because this Crown Jewel is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's truly a big deal. They're getting paid fat, Jeff.
Was he on Greatest Royal Rumble? He was, wasn't he?
I think so. I don't remember, to be honest. I don't remember.
Actually, I can't.
Well, main event time for Monday Night Raw. Another thing that hasn't tickled my fancy too much, even though it is packed with some of the best talent the WWE has right now, I'm just not digging it as much. Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre versus The Shield.
Yep, again. Same thing from Super Showdown.
The whole thing, The Shield's not really getting along as much. The heels win, even though the heels had their own bickering with each other for a while. The heels win at the end of the show. Ambrose takes off because he feels that he might not want to be in the Shield anymore. So the show ends with the cliffhanger of, is the Shield once again
gonna break up
Yeah.
again?
If you're gonna bring back a stable, keep it together for a fucking long ass time.
It's been what, a month?
Even if it's a year, that's too short. You don't just make a stable, then break it up, and then like 2 years later you bring it back. 2 years is not enough time to let something...
They bring it back anytime fucking two of them are a tag team together. Like, oh, Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins are back together. It's the Shield. No, it's fucking not.
Yeah, it's just because they're in the same room doesn't mean the Shield is back.
Yeah, they share the same locker room, so it says the Shield on the outside of it too?
Anyways, we're moving on to fucking SmackDown, which is a show that we thoroughly enjoy here on Have Fun on the Indies. We call it the A Show. I feel it's the A Show right now. I'm always fair when it comes to that. I love Raw and SmackDown. And that's hilarious how you still have that video of John Cena doing his new
I'm gonna
finisher.
I'm gonna screenshot that. That's
Look, he looks like Goku right there.
That's a fucking meme right there. Somebody needs to put some Goku hair on that motherfucker right now for reals. There you go.
The energy flames going around him.
That is it.
Well, moving on to SmackDown. SmackDown from top to bottom was pretty entertaining, I'm not gonna lie.
What an opening.
The fucking opener of SmackDown was Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch 2, apparently, because they fought just, a couple days earlier at Super Showdown. Who gives a fuck? Give me more of that.
Yeah, I'd rather watch this again than those 2 6-mans we had to sit through again on Raw.
Once again, it wasn't as hard hitting as the one at Super Showdown, but it was fucking a badass match. There was a point where Charlotte missed a moonsault from the top rope to the outside. 2 things that come with that. She missed a think about what I'm saying. She missed a moonsault from the top rope to the outside.
To the outside.
And she did not. It looked like she killed herself, but she didn't kill herself doing it. My God, the professionalism and the talent and ability, and most importantly, the technique that I had to take to pull off a move like that.
Yeah.
She did it hella badass. True professional. They went everywhere. They started fighting everywhere on the outside. The referee's trying to gain control. He can't. The fight continues. The match gets called off because things are getting too crazy. And as Becky Lynch is walking away, Charlotte Flair comes from behind, spears her through part of the Titantron. They come back from commercial, and Charlotte Flair's hand is fucking bleeding everywhere.
Looks like she broke it.
Looked real as fuck.
Yeah.
You could feel the animosity of these 2 women. It's real competition to where each of them are legit saying, I'm the best. Charlotte Flair has it in her blood to say I'm the best. You can tell she takes pride in her work. And Becky Lynch probably has a giant fucking chip on her shoulder from being overlooked all these years.
Yeah.
For her being the one, let's face it, her and Sasha Banks were the ones that actually started making this whole women's shit popular by having these matches that could hella compete with the men's.
Oh, yeah.
And then they pass her up. She is trying hard. These matches have been awesome.
Yeah. Definite great opener.
And after this insane opener, you want to Jeff Hardy versus Samoa Joe, which is another holy shit. What a contrast of fucking styles.
I think SmackDown already beat Raw.
Even though we've never been huge fans of Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
For some reason, we've always thought Jeff Hardy was the backyard wrestler's wrestler.
Yeah. Definitely. That's a good way to put it.
He's still a good wrestler, dude, at the end of the day. If you could put away, the fact that we don't like his character as much. And especially wrestling Samoa Joe.
And wrestling Samoa Joe.
Awesome match. Their styles meshed way better than I thought they would have.
Better than you would expect.
And it was for a qualifier for the World Cup. That was the only thing that kind of bugged me. 2 things bugged me. 1, Hardy goes over. I would have loved to see Samoa Joe in the Crown Jewel World Cup.
Yeah.
But I understand he's got his whole thing with AJ going on, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that's not over with yet.
It might not be. But Hardy goes over, and the thing that I hated wasn't the fact that Hardy went over. I'm glad Hardy went over, whatever.
Yeah.
The thing is that he went over by ref stoppage. He went over by taking Samoa Joe's leg and fucking it all up, right? Ref stoppage? Really?
From Jeff Hardy.
Samoa Joe is the guy who's known for ref stoppages.
Yep.
From his time all the way down in the fucking Indies to all the way in the WWE. When he choked out John Cena one time. Samoa Joe is the ref stoppage guy. How are you going to make a guy like Jeff Hardy do a ref stoppage to Samoa Joe?
Yeah.
It's backwards.
Very.
It's backwards. And that kind of irked me a little bit. Yeah. I was like, God damn it. That's not...
Sad moment. I shed
Samoa Joe's the one that gets crazy.
Samoa Joe is the one that should have got the ref stoppage for peeling freaking Jeff Hardy's skin off his face.
Right?
Right? Yeah. I was not okay with that ending. I'm not even happy that Jeff Hardy's moving on into the World Cup.
I don't know.
Not over Joe. We could have had Joe and Angle in a match in this fucking tournament in the WWE. Like, I want that more than I want Jeff Hardy versus anybody in that fucking thing.
Well, anyways... Moving on with the show, Miz TV was next with another 2 guys that are fucking big time on our list.
SmackDown.
AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan are about to have a match at Crown Jewel. Dear God, this is what I mean. All these dream matches are finally happening.
Yeah.
Fucking Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles in a feud Count me in.
For the WWE Championship.
For the WWE Championship. For the mid-card championship.
For the mid-card title.
I'm kidding. Well,
no, I won't
AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan start off the whole segment with pretty much making fun of The Miz. You know, The Miz is the middle guy, and they're pretty much the real wrestlers, and they say The Miz isn't, or whatever. That's how it goes. The Miz starts making fun of the fact that Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles had an honorable handshake. So Miz says, "What is this? An honorable handshake? That's not going to sell any tickets. Who's going to want to see that crap?"
Wow.
Yep, that's what the Miz says. Then after a little bit, Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles start focusing on them, and things start getting a little tense. They're both competitors. You know how that goes. Two wrestlers that fucking love the business, you can tell. It's a great fucking segment. At one point, The Miz snaps and does one of his crazy rants where he starts talking about how you guys suck. I've done way more than both of you. Never main evented WrestleMania. And guess what?
Wow.
Guess what, AJ Styles? You've been the WWE champion for almost a year, and you still aren't even headlining. That he says you still aren't even headlining. Maybe you should look in the mirror.
Yeah,
wow.
Were we just talking about that?
Better than you.
The Miz is better than me. I don't have to like that.
Exactly. So I hope the Miz tells you to look in the mirror.
The Miz better not get within arm's reach of me because I'll stab him.
Wow, don't be jealous of the Miz.
I like the Miz is the best heel that WWE has right now. He is the best heel they have right now.
Fucking,
because he even made me want to go back to stabbing him. And
the Miz main event at WrestleMania.
That one time on that WrestleMania, I walked out of that WrestleMania to go watch my girlfriend get her nails done.
I remember.
No shit, that really happened.
Wow,
it was like right before that match because I missed most of it. I ended up at a friend's house and like I was just that was coming on and they were like, "Shh, I actually want to watch this," and I was like, "Nah, you know what? You wanted to go get your nails done. Let's go do that."
Why would you do that?
Because I did not want to watch John Cena and The Miz. And what was that? 2010, 2011?
I can't remember when it was, but you're retarded.
26, 27.
You're retarded.
That's my memory of The Miz's WrestleMania. I walked out. I didn't even care.
That's retarded. You're not a true wrestling fan, then, in my opinion. How are you gonna miss the main event of WrestleMania? Hey, bud, go fucking.
You know what?
Hey, buddy, go back to Cork and Hall. All right. All right, we're fucking
sad drunken admission. I'm pretty sure I missed most of WrestleMania this year too because I got fucking shit faced.
Yeah, exactly. Go back to watching wrestling that belongs in gymnasiums. Halls.
I don't even remember half of WrestleMania this year because I was so drunk.
Wow.
Yeah, true.
Okay, can we move on?
Yeah, we can move on now.
So the Miz snaps, starts talking a bunch of shit. Next up, you have AJ Styles versus Shelton Benjamin. Need I say more? Yeah. Phenomenal match, which was ended by a phenomenal forearm, and AJ wins the match. And then this next segment's a little weird, but they have to cool things down a little bit. It can't be awesomeness after awesomeness after awesomeness.
After that segment, in Shelton.
The next segment coming up is the guy that looks like Jeff.
Oh, geez, screw you. I look like Chris Jericho from the Judas shirt.
Hey, what did you...
Blackcraft Cult.
Dude, you hella look like Aiden English.
The hell I do.
You look like Aiden English, and I want to ask you, what the hell happened in fucking Milwaukee?
I don't know. I need to find out the exciting conclusion myself as we watch the rest of what happened in Milwaukee.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
I was trying to say it dramatically, like stay tuned.
Like it
to
mattered.
Be continued.
Like it mattered.
Same bat time, same bat channel next week. You know.
You know what's crazy is I was starting to enjoy this angle because it was so wacky and it made me laugh just for the fact that I know people hated it. And I was starting to enjoy it, and then they ruin it this week. Literally, this is what happened. So this whole time is what happened in Milwaukee. What happened in Milwaukee? Last week they show part of the footage. And it stops at a certain point that makes it look like the footage stops at a certain point that makes it look like something's about to happen between Aiden English and Lana. And then this week, literally, they play the rest of the footage, and the rest of the footage is Lana not wanting it, and then like Rusev comes out
she was saying that Aiden's such a good friend to them, and they love them, and then he made an unwanted sexual advance, and Lana said no, and then Rusev came out and.
And that's what I mean, though. The whole fucking thing was, like, pointless. Like, the thing lasted 3 weeks, and it was pointless. It's like the whole angle was cut short so abruptly. Like, that's what it was. Like, nothing ever happened. Like, we teased something was going to happen, but nothing ever did, and Lana denied his advances. So we just spent 3 weeks pulling an angle where it was just a normal relationship thing where, like, what was the whole thing about?
2 things. Number 1, it was Vince McMahon's second favorite thing next to farts. It was breaking up tag teams.
Wow.
Because he loves doing that. For this time, no fucking reason.
God.
And 2, that was on after the WWE Championship hype-up match. What happened in Milwaukee is way more important than the WWE Championship. All right.
One day you'll kiss his ass.
And he'll fart in my face before I even get to his supple cheeks.
Wow,
supple, right? That was a good word, right?
I don't know, but Vince Man Kiss My Ass Club coming soon to have fun on the Indies.
Coming soon to the studio near us.
Anyways,
full of cats.
The next scenes was pretty good. Rey Mysterio's back. You know, if it's one thing I regret from professional wrestling is the fact that I was not a huge fan of Rey Mysterio. Back when he was in his prime, back when he was doing great things in WWE, I wasn't a big fan of his, and I never realized how much talent it took to be a small guy and make it in the WWE, because Rey Mysterio had to be high-flying to do it. However, this is what I mean. He had to do high-flying stuff, he had to do flips, he had to do spots, but yet his style still feels different and still feels WWE compared to some of the guys on 205 Live. Yeah. That are just like Rey Mysterio's size also.
Yeah.
Do you see the difference about how you can make spotty wrestling look like a story still?
Yeah.
And that's what a lot of the guys now that WWE hires have a hard time doing, is telling a story. Because when your match is way too spotty, it doesn't tell a story. Yeah. It's more like a ballet than anything. Mm-hmm. You know? But Rey Mysterio's back. I'm happy as fuck for that. And then we move on to the main event, which is reserved for the man that deserves the main event. Because the main event is Randy Orton.
Sir Randall Keith of Orton.
So we have Randy Orton versus The Big Show. Randy Orton has been on a fucking tear with the violence. This was a qualifying match for the Saudi Arabia World Cup. And thumb to the eye by Randy Orton. RKO. Randy Orton advances. Booyah. Best wrestler in the business right now. And I'm not just saying that because I like WWE. From New Japan to MLW to Ring of Honor to TNA to the WWE to Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. The list goes on and on. The best wrestler on the planet right now, in my opinion, is Randy Orton.
Oh. Just no point.
So I say that and then you just sit there staring at the mic?
I thought to myself, should I bring up Randy versus Walter?
Wow, that would be a crazy fucking match. Randy Orton versus Walter.
I know you just saw Walter last week, but
tell these people who Walter is, because I guarantee you nobody knows.
If you don't know who Walter is, he's this big German Austrian guy who's currently PWG heavyweight champion, who was trained by Ishii and a few others.
Wow, trained by Ishii?
Okay,
no wonder he can fucking wrestle. Who
will chop your rib cage out of your chest, probably through the back of you if you'd let him. I just showed Abe him last week. Somebody he was really excited about. We'll be watching some more of him later. But if you don't know who Walter is, look him up. It's just Walter, Walter.
In terms of the Indies, he's one of the guys that has shocked me the most at how good he is. I am seriously shocked, and he's a big guy. And he can wrestle.
He's a big guy.
And he can wrestle like a fucking beast.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to do a story in the ring. He has the perfect wrestling style for him. I think it's awesome. But you know one thing I noticed that I'm going to have you pull up right now? How old is this guy?
Oh, he's not as old as I thought he was.
Because it looks like he might be an older age, and we all know how the wrestling business treats those guys sometimes.
Yeah, I thought he was much older than he is. I think you're going to be quite surprised as I was. Weather. I put in weather.
You put Wealter?
I put in weather. I put in Walmart.
You can't just put in Walter either, because you're going to put Walter. You need to put Walter Pro Wrestling.
Wrestler should come up.
Okay, because look, it doesn't come up at all. Damn, it's still not coming up. It's still not coming up.
Space.
Oh yeah, your keyboard's completely broken.
No, it's just completely sticky.
Just put Walter Wrestler, because if you just put Walter, nobody's going to know.
I keep pressing.
Damn, dude, you it's pissing me right there. Look.
There we go. You just got to put in the W and the R.
So the man is 6'4". Go down a little bit so I can read his stats again.
The man is 6'4", and he's 31 years old, which is pretty damn young. He still has a fucking chance.
I thought he was
still has a chance.
I thought he was much older.
Hey, Triple H, turn your neck that way.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
He still has a fucking chance. God damn, I hope this guy fucking makes it in WWE for a little bit. And guess what? He's experienced. He made his debut in 2005.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He knows what he's doing.
Scroll down a little bit so I can see a little bit more of his stuff. Holy crap. Just keep scrolling down until I tell you. Yeah, that's pretty crazy, Jeff.
Progress, Evolve.
PWG. Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. He's been around. Yeah, he deserves a shot somewhere. Hopefully WWE picks him up and at least lets him have a run to NXT.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, they love giant guys there, right?
Yeah.
Come on. What are we doing? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that was WWE for the week. That was a shitload of WWE, believe it or not.
Yeah, that was a lot. That extra show put us tipping the scales.
Do you have anything you want to talk about New Japan?
King of Pro Wrestling was this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
There was a 3-way for the IWGP
Wait a minute.
Championship.
King of Pro Wrestling, I heard that was supposed to be like a giant deal.
Yeah, no, it is a very big show.
So what made it a big deal?
There was some really exciting things that happened. There was IWGP Triple Threat match.
So that was what was a big deal. I feel like I'm more informed about this shit than you are, and you're the bigger New Japan Pro Wrestling fan.
Let me get to it. There was Jericho jumping Evil. There was Switchblade joining the Bullet Club. But I don't really give a shit about any of that, to be completely honest.
You're so fucking weird, dude. You are the weirdest person ever. The reason why this show was big was because it had huge ramifications for Wrestle Kingdom.
Yes.
Your girlfriend told me that.
But...
And you don't know.
But while watching this show, I saw Ishii versus Suzuki and my mind exploded. And everything before and after that no longer existed.
So you cared about nothing but Ishii and Suzuki? Which, by the way, when you showed me some of the highlights of that match, oh my God. It starts off with Ishii running across the ring and clotheslining him in the corner in the most fucked up of ways I've seen. And it just escalates from there.
Yeah.
It looked like it was a pretty damn good show. Yeah. I saw Kenny Omega... Ibushi and...
That was a crazy match.
Kenny Omega, too. Ibushi, and who?
Cody,
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Cody's one of my favorite indie guys right now.
Heavyweight Championship.
That was a pretty damn good match.
Yeah, that was a really good match.
3 talented-ass people. Omega goes over, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
still
so what does that mean?
Champion. He's going to be facing whoever was going to win against Tanahashi and Switchblade at Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay, wow. So, who won the Tanahashi Switchblade?
So... I guess Tana wins by disqualification.
What?
Because there's interference
by Gato. Who did he face?
Gato.
What's happening?
He faced Switchblade.
You went over nothing.
He faced Switchblade.
So Tanahashi versus Switchblade.
Jeff. To the IWGP title shot at Wrestle Kingdom.
Okay, thank you. Now I know what's going on.
Oh, everybody already knows what's going on. Because none of that matters. Because at the end of the big schmoz, Okada comes out to save Tanahashi from... Gato and Switchblade.
Wow.
And, which is a surprise because Okada and Tanahashi are not allies and not friends. Then the firing squad comes out, surrounds the ring. They grab Gato and Jado, who made his way out here, for Okada to strike him. Okada bounces off the rope, gets ready to do it, and bam! RKO out of nowhere by Tama Tonga.
RKO.
I know that's not what he calls it.
Randy Orton greatness bleeding all the way into New Japan.
Out of nowhere.
Can't stop it.
Out of nowhere. They proceed to beat on Okada. And then Jay White gets in the ring and is like, oh, no, what's going on here? Then he gets involved. They all hold up 2 sweets. Bullet Club music plays. Jay White, Gato, and Jado are now in the firing squad side of the Bullet Club.
Wow, that seems like a fucking bunch of turns and twists to this thing.
Big surprise.
Jericho jumping Evil was fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That was fucking badass. I love Chris Jericho.
I'm glad to see Jericho back.
Why do you think he chose Evil? Is Evil main event status in New Japan or no?
We were talking about this earlier. I don't want to discredit Evil, but I don't feel like he is as much.
I feel like Jericho's smart, and he's wrestling some of the guys that the fans hella like,
even though they're not main event guys.
What it is.
Like, they're hella over still, and they probably should have main event spots here and there, but they don't always. And Jericho's like, you know what? I'm gonna go wrestle this guy because it's gonna give me so much notoriety just for the simple fact that he's over. He's just not main event over.
Evil's definitely over.
Well, damn, that New Japan show sounded sick.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you.
New Japan, please just book Ishii and Suzuki in a singles match.
I'm probably gonna go back and try to watch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back through watch Ishii and Suzuki again.
No, Jeff. I was looking at the other notes. You had that other page open earlier. Oh yeah. Hey, you know what's crazy? So since we're ending the show here, let's end it with this. You know what's fucking nuts? Zack Ryder is still in the WWE.
Main event.
Zack Ryder is still in the WWE, and they still have him stuck on that main event show.
They still have main event show. That was shocking.
Dude, what the fuck did this guy do to piss everybody off? Who did he piss off and what did he do? He is still there. Zack Ryder doesn't really suck, dude. I'm not his biggest fan, but he doesn't suck.
No, he doesn't suck.
Look up his wiki. I want to know how long he's been in the WWE.
Oh, dude. Remember when he was the Major Brothers? Do you
and
remember that?
And you know what else shocked me? Nigel fucking McGuinness was the announcer for that match.
Yeah.
Nigel McGuinness, whom I remember wrestling Daniel Bryan. Nigel McGuinness, whom I remember wrestling Samoa Joe back in the Ring of Honor days. Nigel McGuinness was in... You know, it's fucking sad that Nigel McGuinness' career had to end due to unforeseen circumstances like injuries and shit.
Yeah.
It is fucked up because Nigel McGuinness was on his way to being just as good and at the same level as Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles and all those guys.
He's one of them.
It's a fucking goddamn shame that he never was able to grow more because of those injuries.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fucking sad, dude. He was so badass. Thank God WWE hired him for something.
At least he is working.
You said he's on NXT too, right?
I believe he's still on NXT, and I believe he does 205 Live too. I didn't know he did main event. I didn't know main event still existed.
I didn't either, man.
We just found that out today.
Anyways, Zack Ryder, when did he make his professional wrestling debut? Not
his
WWE.
debut?
Yeah, his debut first.
2004.
Wow, 2004? Mm-hmm. Holy shit, that's over 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. That's a decade ago. That's more than a decade ago. When did he make his WWE appearance?
Developmental territories, 2005, 2007.
So okay, so that does kind of count doing the whole territories. So in 2005, 2005 is that what it said?
Yeah, 2005.
So 2005 to 2007, he was with WWE Developmental.
He was in Deep South.
Oh, okay, that's where he was at. In 2007, he went to Ohio Valley.
Yeah, see, they were the Major Brothers. It was him and Kurt Hawkins were the Major Brothers.
I see. Then in 2009, he became the Long Island Loudmouth. And yeah, so, dude, he's been in the WWE this long?
Well, we're going to say 2000. Let's go with 2005, because that's when he signs Developmental.
Yeah,
that's 13 years.
Holy shit, dude, that's a fucking long-ass time. He
had only wrestled for maybe a year before that.
He is very, very seasoned.
All WWE.
You know what he should probably do? I don't know if this will work. I really don't know if this will work. But what I feel he should do is go the Cody Rhodes route and try to make a name out in the bigger indies and Japan the way Cody Rhodes did. I mean, obviously, I'm not sure if he has the same charisma as Cody Rhodes. All I know is he might have to drop that fucking Long Island gimmick.
I mean, he's really loyal to the WWE though. Obviously,
he might have to fucking drop that Long Island gimmick.
Yeah, I mean, he probably will have to. He'll probably. What's his real name? Because it sure isn't Zack Ryder, is it?
Obviously, his name is Zack Ryder. Why does his real name matter?
Oh, because that's what he's gonna have to go by on the Indies.
Matthew Brett Cardona.
Doesn't sound very.
You know what's even crazier? So his name's Matthew Brett Cardona. That's not crazy, but what's crazier is his trainer. His trainer is Mikey Whipwreck.
Oh shit,
dude! This guy has a long lineage of professional wrestling. Think about it.
Mikey Whipwreck. Wow.
Holy fuck, dude. I feel bad for Zack Ryder, but you know what? At least he still has a job, and at least he still gets to go out there, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel. How old is he? You know what? That's gonna.
You're the one that always points out the positive side to those things.
If he's not too old,
33.
Okay, he's 33 years old. It's already nearing the fucking limits for wrestling to try to make it big. But maybe I'm telling you, maybe if he goes to the Indies, he might have a resurgence. It seems these days, it seems like you can actually have a resurgence in the Indies.
You know, right now is the time. Not so much for Jack Swagger, but I don't know. I don't know if Zack Ryder could, to be completely honest. I don't know if Zack Ryder would even want to, because this kind of goes back to that Neville conversation from last week. I feel like Zack Ryder's doing okay. It's not that bad. I mean, he's been in the WWE for 12 of the 13 years. It could
be worse. You could be wrestling some indie that nobody watches and barely scraping by doing appearances and autograph sessions where nobody shows up.
And leaving this guaranteed paycheck is a chance that he's going to end up like that. Like Big Kaz in a soccer stadium with 10 people.
Yeah, right. That's what I mean. At least he has a job there, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't know what his thoughts are, but I really want to know what the hell happened, because there was a point where they were kind of pushing him. Not a lot, but they were kind of starting to push him, dude. And he was getting over. He was actually starting to get over, and within a month, it all just switched.
That was when he was in the wheelchair, because Kane pushed him off the stage, or he pushes him off the stage again, and John Cena makes out with, who was it, Eve?
Are you fucking serious?
Makes out with his girlfriend Eve in front of him while he's in the wheelchair.
See?
And right after that.
Whoa. I missed all that. Are you being serious?
All of that happened. That was like,
okay, that sounds fucked up. That sounds like someone had it in for him, and they were like, we're gonna make John Cena do all these fucked up things to you.
But then remember the WrestleMania the last couple years, I think he won the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania, or like on the pre-show. And then he lost it the night after or something like that, or within a week.
It's weird. It's just like what happened with Dolph Ziggler, where he won the belt and he was so over, and then he just lost it, and he hasn't had it since.
Yeah.
Well,
what did he do?
I don't know what he did, but it's funny how you piss off some of these fucking writers and they make your career go to fucking shit.
Or other people whose last names are McMahon.
I doubt it's always McMahon's, dude. I swear to God, McMahon's. Obviously McMahon too, but I always sometimes feel like the writers matter a lot. You piss off the wrong writer, you're gonna get shit that's garbage.
Whatever writer he pissed off has been there for a long time.
Or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, we've been on the air for well over an hour.
While today.
I think this is it.
Yeah. There's no more news for this week as far as I'm...
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on Have Fun on the Indies. You can catch us on Twitter at HaveFunOTI. That's at HaveFunOTI. There you'll catch all of our links to our Facebook, our YouTube page, our SoundCloud page, all our social media that we have spread across the web. Thank you for listening. This will be posted up in a couple of days, and we'll see you next week at Have Fun on the Indies. I'm Abe.
I'm Jeff.
And I hope all of you die. Randy Orton rules.
Have fun on the Indies.